Think about the house you're in right now, or maybe the first apartment you ever had. Have you ever felt, a specific vibe there?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one place felt super busy all the time, another was just incredibly calm, or maybe one house felt like every small argument just blew up.
Right.
It's easy to say, oh, it's just the decor, or maybe bad lighting. But what if it was something else? What if the actual number on your door was setting the entire energetic blueprint for your life inside? Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into home numerology. Our mission is to break down the insights for house numbers 1 through 9.
And these insights get surprisingly specific.
You really do. We're going to look at how these numbers can affect family dynamics, maybe flag some health warnings, and, this is the best part, explore some really actionable remedies you can use to, harmonize your home's energy.
And what's so fascinating is how simple the calculation is. You don't need to be a mathematician for this.
That's good to hear.
It's meant to be accessible. You just take all the digits of your house number and you add them together. You just keep adding until you get to a single digit.
Okay, I think we need a clear example here. Some addresses get a little weird with letters or slashes.
Absolutely. So let's say your address is like 179A, but the registered number is 5422. You ignore the letter.
Ignore the A. Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just use the numbers.
All right.
So 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2, that gets you to 13.
And we need a single digit.
Right. So you reduce it again. 1 plus 3 equals 4. So the energy of your house is a number 4. Oh, and a quick note for anyone in a condo or an apartment.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do they do?
The sources are clear on this. You should focus on your unit number, your room number, and the floor number. That's where your personal energy is concentrated, kind of separate from the whole building.
That sets the stage perfectly. So let's jump right in with number 1. And this is where it gets really interesting right away because it establishes this very masculine domain.
That's a great way to put it. A number 1 house is heavily male-dominated. The man is usually the main earner. He's the head of the house. He controls the finances.
So there's a very clear hierarchy.
A very clear one. If you live there, you'll find that people just naturally defer to the male authority figure.
But what if? What if the residents are all women? That energy can't just disappear, can it?
No, it has to go somewhere. The energy finds a way to express itself. So if it's a household of all women, one of them will step into that number 1 role.
So she becomes the main breadwinner, the leader.
Exactly. She takes on those traditionally masculine traits. She becomes the influential one, the one controlling the money. The house it needs that structure.
That sounds like it could create some real friction, though. Especially if a woman in a mixed-gender home feels like her voice is just being ignored. How do you balance that out?
The remedy for this is very, very specific. To make sure the woman has a real voice and, equal authority, you should place a statue of Luangpur Sothan as the main deity in the house.
Luangpur Sothan. For those who aren't familiar, what's the significance there?
He is one of the most revered Buddha images in Thailand. He's associated with commanding great respect and granting wishes, especially for success and authority.
Ah, so it's about invoking a different kind of authority.
Precisely. It brings in this energy that supports the feminine principle, but without undermining the masculine structure. It allows her voice to finally be heard.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So we leave the very structured masculine energy of number 1, and we move to number 2. And I'm guessing this is a bit different.
It's a complete energetic flip.
Okay.
This is the feminine flow. In a number 2 house, the woman is usually the primary owner or the main breadwinner or just the real driving force of the family.
She's the decision maker.
Absolutely. And this means the men living there might have a harder time.
In what way?
They might struggle financially, maybe earn less than your female partner, or sometimes they just naturally show more, traditionally feminine traits, more emotional sensitivity, a less aggressive style. The woman's energy really runs the show. But, and this is a big but, this strong feminine energy comes with a major health warning.
Oh?
Yes, especially for women. They need to be really cautious of emotional volatility. Things like crying easily or feeling tired all the time.
And it gets more specific than that, right?
It does. The sources point to female diseases, things like hormonal imbalances, chest pain, even heart problems.
Wow, that seems so counterintuitive. You'd think a house with strong feminine energy would be protective of female health.
It suggests an energy of excess. It's too much emotional flex. So to balance it out, you need a dual remedy. First, you worship Guan Yin.
The goddess of mercy.
For compassion, for healing, but that's only part 1. You also have to constantly honor the local household spirits.
The guardians of the land itself.
Exactly, sometimes called Ayai or Tichuayan. By honoring both the high spiritual deity and the local protectors, you ground that emotional energy, you stabilize it.
Now, I noticed something interesting. We've gone from 2, but our source material seems to skip number 3.
It does, but we can fill that in.
Yeah.
Number 3 is usually all about youth, action, and just dynamic movement. A number 3 house is never quiet. It's busy, full of people coming and going, lots of restless energy.
Which brings us back to this other pattern the sources mentioned, this general energy of conflict that can show up. Is there a link to number 3?
There often is. While conflict can happen anywhere, it gets really intense in a number 3 house because of that restless, high ego nature.
So lots of arguments.
Lots of yelling, stubbornness, people saying really hurtful things. And the tragic part is the family genuinely loves each other. But the house just amplifies everyone's ego, and it leads to these huge clashes.
It sounds like a really fiery energy, a lot of heat. So what's the fix for that?
You fight fire with its opposite, water. Very. To absorb that anger and hostility, you just place water features around the house. Simple bowls of water, small fountains, anything that brings in that cooling, flowing element.
I like that. That's practical. Okay, so moving on to number 4. This is the power of speech and sound.
Yes. A number 4 home is perfect for communicators. The residents here literally earn wealth through talking.
Salespeople, teachers, speakers.
Exactly. Sales, teaching, negotiations. Your voice is your moneymaker in this house.
Which of course creates a very specific financial warning. What happens if you live in a number 4 house, but you work in silence?
It's a direct penalty. The money just won't flow easily. If you're, say, a data analyst or a researcher doing quiet paper pushing, you're stifling the house's energy. It needs sound to activate its wealth potential.
So the remedy isn't just about your job. You have to bring sound into the house itself.
Precisely. You need to introduce audible elements. It could be a fountain or a water bubbler making constant noise. Or you could play music or devotional chants. The house just needs to be filled with active sound.
Okay, next up is number 5. The center of religion and growth. This one feels serious.
It is. It's very focused on spirituality, on intellect, on structured thought. And the financial success of a number 5 home depends entirely on its architecture.
How so?
It's all about the center of the house. The center is the heart. It's where you plan, where you negotiate. So if the center of your house is large and open and comfortable, a good place for gathering. Money will flow continuously.
And if it's cluttered or cramped?
The finances will be cramped too. The flow gets blocked. And this is especially true if your work involves, helping people, doing good deeds, or improving people's ability to discern things, like a counselor or a lawyer.
That need for clarity makes sense.
Yeah.
Which takes us nicely to number 6, harmony and abundance.
Yes, the energy in a number 6 home is all about social grace, beauty, and keeping things pleasant. The sources are very specific here. If the women in the house use soft, sweet, respectful language, the family will be much happier and more prosperous.
That's a lovely dynamic.
Yeah.
But what's the crucial wealth tip for number 6?
It's very tangible, almost primal. For money and happiness to flow, the house must always have rice.
Uncooked rice, you mean?
Yes,
Okay.
uncooked grain. Stored somewhere centrally. It represents abundance. Running out of rice in a number 6 house isn't just a dinner problem, it's a serious financial warning. It's like you're inviting scarcity in.
So if you live in a number 6 house, maybe just buy the 50-pound bags from now on.
It wouldn't hurt.
All right, now we get to some challenging territory. Number 7, the battle against darkness. That sounds intense.
It is probably the heaviest of all the numbers. This energy can make people feel constantly unhappy or isolated. You often see a house registered to many people, but only 1 or 2 actually live there.
Why is it so heavy?
The sources trace it back to a spiritual event, an ancient battle where the Ashura, or demon, was victorious, and that left a residue of loss and darkness on the energy of this number.
Wow. The idea of a demon's victory being embedded in a number is chilling. So the remedies must be pretty serious.
They have to be. It's a multi-step approach, all about flooding the space with light and divine authority.
Okay, what's the first step?
Simple, practical things. Open your windows during the day. Keep lights on. Maximize the sunlight. Light is the number 1 weapon here. Second, you need divine authority. You must place a statue of either Frabuddha Chinnarat or Longfor Sothon as the main house deity. You need that powerful spiritual strength.
Yeah, there's more.
Yes. Third, you need specific protection. A statue of the sun god, Suryathat, at the front of the house, facing east. This is specifically to dispel that ancient curse.
And there was one more thing. Something really unique you do to the actual house number itself.
This is fascinating, yes. You physically apply gold foil or gold leaf to the last two digits of the house number on your door or mailbox,
The last two.
or the single last digit if it's a single number. Gold represents divine energy, purity. So by applying it directly to the number, you are literally blanketing the dark influence with divine light.
That is an incredible set of countermeasures. All right, let's shift to number 8. This one also has a specific health warning, right?
It does, and it's again focused on women. Women in a number 8 house should really watch for issues with the digestive and reproductive systems. The stomach, the intestines, the uterus. It requires a lot of proactive self-care.
And what about the male dynamic here? It's not so straightforward, is it?
No. If the man is the main earner, this energy can make him very secretive. He might be reluctant to share information about finances or family matters, and the sources warn of a high danger of a third hand.
Infidelity.
Yes, the number 8 energy thrives in shadows and secrets, so open communication is the best defense.
So given all the shadows and secrets, what are the remedies for wealth and protection?
For wealth, to bring in a more active, positive energy, you place a white or light brown horse statue. For health and protection, especially if people in the house are often sick, you worship Fra Rahu.
Fra Rahu. He's the shadow deity, the one who causes eclipses. Why would you worship a shadow to protect you?
It's a brilliant bit of spiritual logic. You don't fight the shadow, you appease it and ask it to work for you. By worshiping Fra Rahu, you're asking him to consume the negativity, the illness, the secrets that the number 8 house encourages.
And there are rules for placing the statue.
Yes, it should face west or south, and you must offer flowers on both sides and always a large glass of clean water.
Okay, finally, number 9. This is the one often called the success number.
It is. It's all about scale. It's most successful for people working in big companies, huge organizations, or major family businesses. The scale of your ambition has to match the scale of the number. But this success comes with a very serious condition. It demands total honesty.
What's the specific warning?
Complete transparency. Anyone living in a number 9 house who engages in things like tax evasion or any kind of financial shadiness will face problems. Swift and severe problems. The house will not tolerate it.
So number 9 is definitely no place to be cutting corners. Are there any architectural tips to maximize good fortune?
2 main things. Family-wise, the energy is said to favor having sons. More sons can lead to greater wealth. And architecturally, and this is a big one, if you're replacing doors, use large double doors, 2 panels instead of a single one.
Why is that so important?
It's symbolic. It dramatically increases the opening for money and prosperity to flow into the home.
We've gone through 1 to 9, and the remedies are just incredible.
Yeah.
So specific, from statues to elements to the very architecture of the house.
And if you connect it all to the bigger picture, you see that this isn't about passively accepting your fate. It's about giving you tangible steps you can take.
Right.
Whether it's putting a statue in a number 1 house or installing a water feature to calm things down, or just making sure your rice jar is never empty in a number 6, these are all ways to actively align your home's energy with your goals.
So what does this all mean for you listening? We've seen how sound can activate wealth in a number 4, why an open center is crucial for number 5, and the serious steps needed to combat the darkness in a number 7. You now have the tools to calculate your home's energy and, more importantly, to become your own spiritual architect. And that leaves me with a final thought for you to mull over. Given that the heavy energy of number 7 is defined by a victory of darkness, and the main remedy is simply to bring in more light, how might our most mundane, everyday choices, like just opening a window in the morning or flipping on a light switch, be seen not just as practical acts, but as simple yet profound acts of spiritual architecture that change the unseen energies you invite into your home every single day?